Shalom to my brothers and sisters in the body of Yahuwshua HaMashiyach, and to the scattered Hebrew Israelites who are dotted four corners of the earth. Today I bring you an exciting news, but at the same time, it's still a day of mourning for us. And you will understand as we proceed further in this video. So it's exciting news and still a day of mourning. And you probably say, what does Sister Yedida mean? So let us begin with this title. Now, the title in this video may be slightly different from what you see on YouTube, and that's because of the space. They won't let you put so many characters. But the title is The New Year. Abib, new moon. The sun, 365.25 days. The moon, 354 days and 22 days before the sun. And prophecy fulfilled. For Israel did not see the new moon crescent on March the 28th. The subtitle of this video is The Heavens Manifestation of the True Hebrew Israelites Not Being in the Holy Land. Yes, my brothers and sisters, the heavens is even crying out because those who are Hebrew Israelites who are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, the heavens are crying out because you are not in the Holy Land. And as you watch this video further, you will understand that our Holy Father Yahuwah has been giving us signs in the heaven and in the earth to let us know who we are, to let us know that those who claim to be the Jews, and actually the correct word for Jews should have been Judeans or Israelites or Yahudim, but today the word called them Jews. See, he knows those imposters. See, he knows they are the sons of Esau and the sons of Jacob, which fulfilled the prophecy in Genesis chapter 9, verse 27, I believe, or 25, dealing with the tents of Japheth. Also Genesis chapter 10 and Deuteronomy chapter 32. Okay? So you're asking yourself, who are the Hebrew Israelites then, who are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth? Well, the Hebrew Israelites are the Negroes and their descendants. See, the Negroes are the children of Shem who are bearing the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28 today. And they are the descendants of slaves. See, the Negroes were enslaved by the Europeans, the Arabs, the Africans, and many other nations. You have to read Psalms chapter 83. For they did a very good job of taking away our language, taking away our history. They have taken away who we are. They've taken away our identity and gave us other names, such as African Americans, such as Native Americans, such as Puerto Ricans, and the list go on and on. So they gave us other names. They also gave us derogatory names, or what the Bible called proverbs and bywords, such as nigger, blacks, Negroes. Let's see, what's another one? Spick. So the other nations look down upon us. So the ringleader of all of this is our brother Esau, which he's fulfilling the prophecy according to Genesis chapter 25 and Genesis chapter 27. But now his kingdom is ending as prophesied and written in 2nd Ezra chapter 6 of the Apocrypha of the King James 1611, because the Messiah is coming back to deliver us, my people. And he's going to put an end to Esau's kingdom. You see, Esau's kingdom is under the dominion and the authority of Satan and his angels. That's whom they serve. That's their principality. Now, principality means angel when you read it in the Bible. So those who have joined themselves to Esau are the sons of Japheth, the sons of Ham, and the sons of Shem. This is why you have to understand the prophecy that's written in Numbers chapter 24, First Samuel chapter 23, verse 1 through 7, Revelations chapter 13, Joel chapter 3, and Jeremiah chapter 30. And there's many other scriptures. Because I'm talking to you, Gentiles nations, you have to choose whom side you want to be on. Either you're going to be on the Most High side, or you're going to be on Satan's side. Either you're going to be on the nation of Israel side, or you're going to be on Esau side. Either you're going to be on Yahuwshua HaMashiyach side, or you're going to be on the anti-Messiah side, the false one that is coming, the last one that is coming. So you need to make a decision. Either you're going to receive your nation, what's that word I'm looking for? Either you're going to receive your nation's judgment that's coming upon them for what they have done to the children of Israel, or either Gentile, you're going to repent and do what is right in the sight of Yahuwah. So you have a decision to make. And yes, your own people shall come against you. Your own people will not treat you right for standing up for what is right. So yes, you will experience that. And even some of the Hebrew Israelites may not accept you, but you have to stand by what the word tells you, because the Father had also made a promise to those who choose to serve him in righteousness, for he has an inheritance for you too. Okay. So in this video, we're going to be going over a lot of things, and I want to keep things straight to the point and short for you. We're going to be looking at the year in total for the year of 2016 to 2017. And I will explain to you why the sun has 365 and a quarter days. Okay, I'll explain to you about that. And I'll also explain about the number of the moon days for this year and why did it come 22 days before the sun new year. Okay, so all that will be explained in this video. And I have proof and evidence, and this proof and evidence is based on the heavens. I'm telling you, my people, the heavens is speaking. Okay, so those who come against me for following Yahuwah's word, as quoted as Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, shame on you, because the word tell you he give us lights in the heavens to tell us to tell us about the days, the seasons, the years. And these lights in heaven also be used for signs, which we are seeing now, because they are crying out because the true Hebrew Israelites are not in the Holy Land. But you have to learn how to recognize these signs. Now, he gave us the prophets. He gave us the hidden books. He gave us the King James 6 and 11. But many of my brothers and sisters are still not listening to the word. They're still going about in their own way and not hearing the Father out. But he also let me know why you're doing what you're doing. And it's dealing with the curse that he put upon Israel. And those who continue to listen to the Spirit, which is Yahuwshua HaMashiyach. For Yahuwshua HaMashiyach, Spirit dwell in us, for those who have received salvation and baptism in his name. For he shall teach us all truth. For those who are not listening to his Spirit, this is why you're not understanding the Most High calendar. Because I'm telling you, it was him who helped me understand his calendar. And I am still learning more and more about his holy calendar and how it works. Because again, if you didn't have technology, if you didn't have a paper calendar, how will you know when the day begin to end? How will you know when your years begin to end for the sun and the moon? How will you know when your seasons begin to end for spring, summer, fall, and winter? How will you know these things? How will you know when your month begin to end? You have to look in the heavens to be able to determine how will you know these things. Something to really think about. So for announcements, the Most High prophetic message will be in the video description box to give you understanding how the heavens are crying out to us, Hebrew Israelites, who are scattered out the four corners of the earth. Also, in this video, it will give the 12-month followers understanding why there is a 13th month, for the proof are in the heavens. Okay? And the witnesses that prove these things are the heavens and the earth and our calendar record to the 12-month followers. Okay? Also, a lot of people don't know this, but Passover and Feast of Tabernacle always fall on a full moon day. And that's evident in the New Testament to prove that. There's evidence in the ancient historians of other nations who wrote about this that would let you know that Passover falls on a full moon day. Okay, so let us begin. Now, first, I want to knock this out the way, or these announcements. So the new moon crescent was witnessed in America first. Okay. And here are the witnesses. It was witnessed in Spring Hill, Florida on Tuesday evening on March the 28th, 2017. The second witness was in Lake Murray, South Carolina by 3 people under Truth of Yahuwah. The third witness was in, and I already read that, Spring Hill, Florida, and they had 2 witnesses there. Okay. And they are also under Truth of Yahuwah Ministries. So I'm sorry, that was the second one. So the third one is our brother, Stephen. I'm so proud of him. He's in Los Angeles, California. And yes, he's on Facebook, my people. Check out his photos. And if you can't see that new moon crescent, it's a reason why. And that would be explained in the video, because again, there's a lot of things that would affect why you cannot see that new moon crescents for some of these months. And you have to have the right location, a good sight, and the sky has to be clear. And then the moon has to be in the right position in the sky. For example, if it's really low to the horizon, it's going to be very hard to see in lands that's kind of hilly. It'd be best seen in lands that is low. Okay. However, Israel did not see the new moon on March the 28th, so they're expecting to see it on Wednesday evening on March the 29th, 2017. And this is the reason why. See, in modern day Jerusalem, you have the sons of Esau and the sons of Japheth. They are Gentile nation. They are not Hebrew Israelites. So the heavens is crying out to us, letting us know they are not the people. And this is why they will not sight the new moon on the correct appointed day. Okay. So this site will be in the video description box. And take a look here at the picture, because like I said, with the earth too, the earth will confirm to us that we're in the right season, because now the body is right. Do you see these pictures here? The body is right if it's in the land of Israel. Okay. So this is how we know that this is one of the signs of how we know we're in the correct season for Passover, because Passover has to happen in the springtime, and the body has to be right to be offered on Abib 16th for the first fruit of the body harvest. And that offering that we offer to the Most High is called the sheaf weight offering, which is the first fruits of the body harvest. Do you see how the heavens and the earth align to one another? Do you see how the Most High calendar also is what's the best word, linked to agriculture, how everything works together for those who keep a record? So this link will be in the video description box, so you will have to do a further study and to look at the witnesses report. Okay. Now, the next witness of the new moon crescent here in America was done by, let me get them, Table Truth Ministries. They said today, March the 28th, 2017, approximately 7:20 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, the new moon was spotted in the Western Hemisphere at 1%. We have already received several reports on the 27th and the 28th that the barley is in Abib. Okay, so that's one of the witnesses. So in the video description box, I want you not only to check it today, but come back to check for other new witnesses about this new moon crescent. All right, so you can get the full picture about why the new moon was on March the 28th. Okay, so I'm going to close this tab out. The next announcement is that my sister was giving a message from Yahuwah himself. This will be in the video description box, her video. And on her video channel, she gives you the website link where you can have a written copy of the Most High prophetic message. I highly recommend that you watch the video. I also highly recommend that you read his word and print out his word to give to our brothers and sisters who are Hebrew Israelites, because the Father now is speaking to them and let them know this is the time, this is the season. We shall be delivered, but we have to repent. Okay? So the title of her word is Prophetic Word, an Awakening Call. And on her channel, she will have to the 12 tribes of Israel. It's very important that you hear this, you hear what the Most High is saying to us Hebrew Israelites, and that you share this with all Hebrew Israelites. And if you are a Gentile, my Gentile brothers and sisters, please share the Most High message with any Hebrew Israelite that you know. We got to wake them up so they can repent and return back to the Father, for this is the season that we shall be delivered, and that Yahuwah shall bring us back into the Holy Land, as prophesied in the King James 1611 Bible, from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Last but not least, on my YouTube channel, because I know I'm going to have a lot of people who want more information about the Most High calendar. Okay. On my main channel page, again, you can have access to the Most High prophetic message. The first two are his prophetic message to us. Okay. The other videos deal with the prophecies that are written in the Bible that, you really need to pay attention, be aware of, Hebrew Israelites and Gentiles. Okay. That's number one. Number two, on my channel, let me get this cursor to act right. Sorry about that. Let me see, can I find my mouse, because this thing want to mess up on me. Okay, here we go. Okay, the next important thing is Yahuwah's calendar, for those who are trying to understand Yahuwah's calendar. Now, I want to make it clear. We follow the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth. And Mazzaroth is the 12-star constellations. Now, today, the Gentile call it the Zodiac. Now, the work of Josephus talk about this. First and Second Enoch talk about this. And also the book of Job in the King James 6:11 talks about this. This is what Genesis chapter 1, verse, I think it's 14. Let me make sure I gave you the right verse. Or Genesis chapter 1, verse 16. Let me make sure I gave you the right verse. Yeah, Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. This is what that book is talking about, the seasons. Okay? For those who understand Mazzaroth. Also, there's a video playlist dealing with the moon and daylight phases for the year of 2016 to the year 2017. And a new playlist will be started for the year of 2017 to 2018. But I'm going to let this stay up for a while so you can go back and review some things, okay? Also, there's a playlist to help give you understanding who is Esau, who they are today. Okay, so on that channel, there's a lot of good videos up there to help give you understanding. And if you're still not understanding some things, I highly recommend that you always seek Yahuwah first. And if you have any questions for us, that's my husband and I. His name is Yor. My name is Sister Gidia. You can also send questions to us as well. But always seek the Most High, because this is why he gave us the Comforter. And the Comforter is Yahuwshua HaMashiyach's Spirit. Because Yahuwah will teach you all things. Okay, not man, Yahuwah. But you can also send questions to us if you have them. But always seek Yahuwah first. Okay? And I do want to point this out. We need to know our enemies. We have a lot of enemies out here. We have a lot of those claiming to serve the Most High and to follow the Messiah, but they're not. So you need to know what's going on. And you need to know about that there are two Jerusalems. Yes, there are. One is the Amorite Jerusalem. The second one is the Jebusite Jerusalem. So when you go to the channel, click on that video, because you need to see how prophecy is being fulfilled right before our eyes. And the Most High has given us many signs that he is sending his son to deliver the Hebrew Israelites and to bring them back into the Holy Land. He's also sending his son to deliver his bride and the 144,000. So prophecy is being fulfilled right before our eyes. Okay? All right, so that's for that announcement. Close that tab out. Now for the last one. Now these pictures are based on last year. My sister shared these pictures when we kept Passover on the correct day, which is the full moon day. We kept Passover on the correct full moon day. However, Israel did not keep it on the correct day. They kept it on the day that followed after the full moon. So they had Passover on Saturday. I believe for them was April the 23rd. We kept Passover on, when I'm telling you April 22nd, remember we start at sundown. So it'll be from April the 21st to April the 22nd, which will be from Thursday to Friday. For the Jewish people, they kept Passover from April the 22nd to April the 23rd, from sundown to sundown. So for them, they kept it from Friday to Saturday. However, we kept it on the correct day because from April the 21st to April the 22nd, Thursday to Friday, sundown to sundown, was the full moon day. And this is what happened, what she saw in the heavens. She saw this face here that appeared to her before in the heavens, and this was on the full moon night. Okay? And it was for her, it was around 9:44 p.m. to 10 p.m. But let me tell you what else she saw. This was very interesting. And I hope that you can see what was evident in this photo. She saw the lion in the heavens. Here go his spout. Here go his two eyes. You can see the full moon here. And here go his mouth. So let me go to the picture where she don't have it circled. Here go the lion face. So she saw many things being displayed to her in the heavens that night. And this was in April 2016 on the 21st day of April. Very interesting. Okay, so let me close that tab out. All right. Now to the nitty gritty. First, we're going to talk about the new year, and this is Abib. And this is why it's very important to keep a calendar record. So we're going to start from beginning to end. Remember, Yahuwah's calendar is made up of the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth, which is the 12 signs, written in Job chapter 38, verse 32, and based on Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And those who have the Apocrypha, it's in Ben Sirah, known as the Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 43, verse 6 to 10. And I just want to emphasize the full moon day will always fall on the Passover and the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay? So there are 4 seasons. So we are in spring. All right. Now, those who have watched the 12-month report, you know when spring began. So I'm not going to go over that in this video. You have to watch the 12-month. The 12-month report to know when the spring began, okay? Because remember, the moon is always behind the sun. So number 1, you cannot use the moon, which is the light in the heavens, to determine your season. There are other lights in the heaven that would tell you when your seasons begin and end, okay? Now, there are 3 harvests that we would do throughout our year that the Most High given us. So now we're in the first harvest. And the feast for this harvest is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, known as the Passover. Now, the countdown to Shemitah to Jubilee, because we have not came to the 7th month yet, right now, 1 year has passed. But when we get to the 7th month, we will be in the 2nd year to the countdown to Shemitah and to Jubilee. Remember, we have to have a total of 50 years for Jubilee and a total of 49 years for the Shemitah. Now, this calendar for our new year will begin from the year 2017 AD to 2018 AD. Okay. Also on your calendar, like I say, you need to keep a record when was your last Shemitah and when was your last Jubilee. So the last Shemitah was in the 7th month, the 10th day, 2014, and ended on the 7th month, 9th day, 2015. The last Jubilee was in the 7th month, 10th day, 2015, and it ended on the 7th month, 9th day in the year 2016. That's very important. And I always like to put the scripture, Exodus chapter 34, verse 21, to remind you that the calendar does relate to agriculture, because this is what the words say. 6 days thou shalt work, but on the 7th day thou shalt rest. In earning time and in the harvest thou shalt rest. And the precepts for that verse is Exodus chapter 23, verse 12, Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 12, and Luke chapter 13, verse 14. Again, this is based on agriculture. When you look at what is earning time, okay? There's a time to plow the earth, and then there's a time to harvest, and then there's a time to rest. So out of our year, there are 3 times when we do a great harvest. But in the 4th season, there is no harvesting, okay? In other words, there's no great feast to celebrate at the end of our harvest, okay, which is winter. Now we are in the Hebrew first month, okay, and again I want to emphasize the year from 2017 AD to 2018 AD, and the first month is called Abib, and this year it started from March to April, okay, and we are getting ready to approach to the ending of the sun's first month of its year. Remember, the sun have its year of its own, so does the moon have its year of its own. And I will talk to you how I got the sun first month to be a total of 31 days, okay? So we already had discussed about the new moon crescent being sighted in the west on March the 28th at sundown. So this is how you will fill out your calendar. Your first day of your Hebrew calendar shall begin on March the 28th at sundown and end on March the 29th at sundown. That's your first day. So at sundown today will be the day when Israel will see the moon. Now they won't see the new moon crescent, but they'll see the moon. Okay. So the second day of your Hebrew calendar will begin on March the 29th at sundown and end on March the 30th at sundown. And this is how you fill out the rest of your calendar. Remember, we start from sundown to sundown. The heathens calendar go from midnight to midnight. It's a big difference, okay, between the Most High calendar. You have to watch the playlist to get more understanding of what I'm saying, because this is a little more advanced. And to keep this video short, I'm going to be straight to the point. Now, we have so many important biblical events, and we have an important holy feast day coming up to celebrate. So this is what we're going to discuss now. When you read the gospel, you will come to learn that Nazareth was dead for 4 days. In other words, he was in the grave for 4 days. Okay. So this is what I have so far to get an idea what day that his death started, on him being in the grave. It was on the 5th day of the first month, and it ended on the 8th day of the first month. And this was a day when Yahuwshua HaMashiyach came to Bethany. And on that day, he rose Lazarus from the grave. And when you read the scripture, on the 8th day of the moon, this was the 6 days before the Passover day. When you count from 8th day of the moon to the 14th day of the moon, you will see it was 6 days before the Passover. Very important to remember. Now, this is the first week of the moon, day 2 to day 8, okay? And the reason why I say day 2 to day 8, because we know the new moon day is separate, okay? So that is put separate. So the half-waning moon will fall on the 7th day of the first month, okay? And those who go to timeanddate.com, you will look at your moon time based on Arad Israel. And I do want to go ahead and bring that site up for you so you will have it. Let me do that so you can see what I'm saying, why I got what I got. As an example. And excuse the internet, it takes a while. So as that's taking a while, okay, finally it's coming up. I'm about to say, as that take a while to come up, I was going to talk about something else, because I don't like to waste time. Trying to make sure I'm in the right. Look, yeah, I'm in Israel. Okay, so these are the moon phases for Israel. So, the first quarter, which I'm talking about now, the waxing half moon, will fall on April the 3rd at 9:39 p.m. at night. So this is after sundown. So when you go back to your calendar, it should be from April the 3rd to April the 4th. Okay, so let me see. Yep, April the 3rd to April the 4th. So this is why it falls on the 7th day of the moon. Take this time now to pause your screen to observe what I have so far. Okay, for the first week of the moon. Now, dealing with the second week of the moon, and I'll bring this up a little bit more so you can see it. Now, for the second week of the moon, it would begin from the 9th day of the moon and end on the 15th day of the moon. That's the second week of the moon. Now, on the 10th day of the moon, we are to get our lamb as written in Exodus chapter 12. Now, here's an interesting fact that many are not aware. Did you know it took a total of 45 days for Moses and Aaron to go before Pharaoh and for the Hebrew Israelites to be delivered? A total of 45 days. So there is a video that I would put in the description box dealing with the number 45. Okay, so you can watch. But when you get to the 10th day of the first month, which is Abib, this would be the 40th day. Now, if you know of anything about the Most High, he taught us in Numbers. What this remind you of? Not only Moses being on Mount Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights. Also, Yahuwshua HaMashiyach was in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights being tempted by Satan. He always taught us in number. So here's the day when we get our lamb. Day 11 be the 41st day. Okay. Day 12. Now this is another important day you want to take a look at. Day 12 is the 42nd day. Okay. Before our deliverance. And on day 12 of the moon of the first month is also the day when Mary anointed the Messiah. Read Matthew chapter 26 and John chapter 12. Also, this is the day, according to what I have in scriptures, when the Pharisees and the high priests and all them came together to conspire against the Messiah. They was putting their plan together on how to kill him. Okay. And you can read about that in Luke chapter 22. Now, in day 13 of the moon, it's the 43rd day, but pay attention. That's the day dealing with Hosanna. And we're going to talk about Hosanna as we go further down this video. That's very important. Read John chapter 12. Okay. This is very important. So he was anointed on day 12. Then he was treated as a king on day 13 of the moon. And then on day 14 is Passover day and the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Read Exodus chapter 12 and Deuteronomy chapter 16 and Leviticus chapter 23. Okay. But also on this day is when the Messiah washes his disciples' feet. Also, this is the day when he established the new covenant and the day when the new covenant was sealed in his blood. Do you see this, my people? What's going on with this month? Oh my goodness. This is also the day when Yahuwah sent the destroyer to kill all the firstborn of the Egyptian and their beasts. Do you see how the Old Testament go hand in hand with the New Testament? Do you see how the Most High give us a carnal representation to understand the spiritual things? Because these feasts not only is to help us understand the Father, but it also helps us to understand of the spiritual things. For they was the foreshadow of what his Son shall do for us, my people. For he offered his soul as a living sacrifice to save us from our sins. Because see, Satan's plan and his angels is to bring you with them to hell. Because see, hell was made for him and his angels. It wasn't made for man. And because Satan know that the Most High loved Adam, and Adam means mankind, he was determined to bring us down with him. See, they already know where they're going. But we're not understanding the Most High. And the Most High is telling you, Adam and children of Israel, you don't belong to Satan. You belong to him. And the battle we are in is dealing with principalities and spirits. But see, this battle is about your soul now. Okay? So you have to decide whom will you serve. Either you're going to serve Yahuwah or you're going to serve Satan. All right, let us keep going. Now to the 15th day of the moon is the day of our deliverance. Okay? And that was the 45th day. And that was the day my people came out of Egypt at night. A lot of people don't realize this. They came out at night. Read Deuteronomy chapter 16 and reread the book of Exodus and you will see what I'm saying. They came out at night. On Abib 15, that's when they left Egypt. Because see, on Abib 14, at midnight, he sent the destroyer. So in the morning, there was a great lamentation throughout the land of Egypt. And they told them people, you got to go. Here go some gold, some silver, some precious things. Take them now, but y'all got to go. So after all of that, So when the Abib 15 came, which was evening, they left Egypt. A lot of people don't know this. This is also the day that Yahuswshua HaMashiyach was still in the heart of the earth, known as Sheol. Okay? Also, on Abib 15th, this is let me make sure I got it right. Let's see, I'll make sure I'm trying to do my numbers right. This is the second day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is very important. The second day, because it's a total of 8 days. And excuse the error that you see in this photo, but it's day 2 or 8. Okay? So we have a lot going on this day. So day 15 was the day of Exodus for my ancestors. Also, this was the day when the Messiah was still in Sheol, which is day 2 for him. See, Abib is day 1 for him. And Abib 15 is day 2 for him. Now, there's a video on the channel to give you more understanding why Abib 14 is day 1 and why Abib 15 is day 2. Okay, so this is the second week of the moon. And I also want to emphasize Abib 14 is the day when Yahuwshua HaMashiyach was crucified. So the Lamb was crucified on this day as the same day that the animal lamb was crucified. Do you see the correlation? Okay. All right, let us begin. Now looking at the third week of the moon, which is Abib. On Abib 16 is the sheaf weight offering day. Now Josephus backed this up. It is on Abib 16. It has never changed. This is the first fruits of the body harvest. And guess what happened that day? Before the rising of the sun, Yahuwshua HaMashiyach was resurrected. Before Mary and them got there. Because see, Mary and them didn't get there until at the rising of the sun. See, Yahuwshua HaMashiyach risen in the dawn phase. And the dawn phase is that period of light where you don't see no sun because the sun has not risen, but you see light. That's when he arose. So by the time Mary and them got there, the sun was rising and he was already resurrected. So this is the third day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay. This is the day that the Messiah is the first fruits of the resurrection. And this is also the day of the first fruit of the barley harvest. Do you see how our Father in heaven give us a carnal representation with a spiritual representation? And I want to emphasize this. His body is not dead. Yahuwshua HaMashiyach body is not dead. He is the second Adam. And you have to understand the mystery between the first Adam and the second Adam. Okay? So in the third week of the moon, the last day of Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is day 8 of day 8, will fall on the 21st day as confirmed in Exodus chapter 12. So you know what that means. That's when we will start to begin our countdown for Pentecost. So when you get day 22 of Abib, that is the first complete Sabbath following the sheaf weight offering. Because you got to have a total of 7 days. So from Abib 16 to Abib 22nd is a total of 7 days. So that's the first Sabbath. Okay? That's in the third week of the moon. Now, let's go up a little bit more. Now, in the 4th week of the moon, we have the sun to enter the 2nd star constellation, and the Gentile called that constellation Taurus. Now, on this day, which is the 23rd day of the moon, when the sun enters this constellation, that is the last day of the sun first month. Okay? And what else I want to say? And because we go by calendar whole days, we cannot say that the 23rd day of the moon, we cannot say that part of it is the sun first month and part of it is the sun second month. We cannot say that because we deal with calendar whole days. All right. So on the 24th day of the moon, that would be the first day of the sun's second month. This is what the prophet Enoch was telling you. Okay. And when the sun enter each sign of Mazzaroth, you would see a change in time. You would see daylight, because we're in spring season now. You would see daylight growing longer, okay, and night becoming shorter. That's what you're going to see. What's going to happen for those who understand what the prophet Enoch. So the Most High always gives us a sign in the heavens to determine when the sun month begin and end. Okay, and I want to make this clear. You need to follow tropical year, which is known as sun year, not sidereal year. Sidereal, Sidereal, is dealing with the earth rotation, okay? Has nothing to do with the sun circuit. So those who are not following the sun circuit or when the sun enter Mazzaroth, they would get the 13th constellation, but the words say 12 signs. See, those who get into 12 signs are following the sun circuit. But those who are not following the sun circuit and following the earth rotation on its sidereal, this is why they're getting 13 constellations. Okay, I want to make that clear. So the first day of the sun's second month will fall on the 24th day of the moon. Okay. And the last waning crescent will fall on the 28th day of the moon. And then when we get to the 29th day of the moon, that is the second complete Sabbath. Okay. And this is the day of the dark moon. And I did forget to mention to you, on the day of Passover, we have a full moon on that day. Okay. Which is Abib 14. And then on Abib 22nd, we have the half waning moon. That moon is decreasing in light. All right. And the dark moon phase will fall on, make sure I get the right month, on April the 25th at sundown to April the 26th at sundown. Now, to understand how to count your days of Pentecost, because this is another error that I have seen among my brothers and sisters, we are to count 7 complete Sabbaths and 50 days, because the wheat is only ripe in summertime to be harvested. Those who are celebrating Pentecost in the spring season, you will find that your wheat is not ripe. So how can you have Pentecost, okay, and bring your bread offering to the priest if your wheat is not right? Okay? And there's other scriptures in the Bible to prove what I'm saying to you, but I want to keep this video short. Okay? So we just learned, I just want to emphasize again, on Abib 14th was also the day of the washing of feet. So that's the day when it comes to the Passover day, we're going to wash our feet. We're going to participate in Passover. We're going to follow the lamb example. And those who are not able to afford the lamb or the drink offering or the bread offering, this is the blessing that the Messiah gave to us for those who understand spiritual things. Because Yahuwah knows we are in the land of our captivity. Okay? He knows that. So if you cannot keep your drink offering, your Passover offering, your bread offering, he provided a way for you to keep it, but spiritually. When you understand what the Messiah represent, you will know this. He is your drink offering, your meat offering, your bread offering. So on these holy days, we are to keep a memorial on these days. We are not to work on the days that he tells us not to work. And the days we don't work is on Abib 14th and Abib 21st. And for me, I keep Sabbath on Abib 15th and Abib 22nd. Okay. Well, for our household. Okay. But you're not supposed to work on Abib 14th and Abib the 21st. Okay. He wants us to keep a memorial on that day. So pull your Bibles out. Teach your family, your friends, and the strangers. That's how we keep a memorial. Read the Old Testament and the New Testament that pertains to Passover and to Yahuwshua HaMashiyach, crucifixion and resurrection. Also into how we're supposed to keep Passover. For example, the Christian called it communion. So there's other scriptures in the New Testament. I think it's the book of Corinthians that talks about that. But this is the day when the Messiah established a new covenant for us and sealed it with blood. Okay? Now we're going to, let's see what else. And then with Mary anointed him on Abib 12. And other chapters you can read are Mark chapter 14, John chapter 11. For the washing of the feet, read John chapter 13 and Matthew chapter 26. And those who have the 1611, you'll see your precepts there. Okay. Now deal with the word Hosanna. I want to keep this really short. Okay. Because you're going to have to do some reading on your own. But Hosanna means save now. So that was the title they gave to the Messiah. And this was the day they blessed him. And they said he is the King of Israel and that he comes in the name of Yahuwah. Okay. Now, these are the scriptures I want you to read. But far as the Strong Concordance, in the New Testament, you'll find it as G5614. And it comes from two Hebrew words, Yasha, H3467, and Ne, or it can be Na, H4994. Now, you know, Yasha means to save, be saved, be delivered. And Na is an expression that's added to the word Yasha, such as I pray, now, then, I beseech, oh, go to. Okay, when you look this stuff up. So this is why when you hear the word Hosanna and you see what it means what? Save now. Okay. Also, I want to point out that they recognize him as the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee, Matthew chapter 21. And this is why on Abib 13, okay, on Abib 13, they lay down the palm tree leaves before him because he is a king and he was anointed to be our king. Okay. He is the anointed prince. Read Daniel chapter 9, verse 25 to 26. Okay. So I do want to read Psalms 118, verse 25 to 26 to you. We'll read the summary first. And as exhortation to praise Yahuwah for his mercy. The psalmist, by his experience, showeth how good it is to trust in Yahuwah. Under the type of the psalmist, the coming of the Messiah in his kingdom is expressed. Verse 25. Save now, I beseech thee, O Master. O Master, I beseech thee. Send now prosperity. Blessed be he that cometh in the name of Yahuwah. We have blessed you out of the house of Yahuwah. Don't this sound familiar to you? Read when you have in your spare time. Also read John chapter 12, okay? But I want you to read Matthew chapter 23, verse 39. Who is this one that cometh in the name of Yahuwah? Matthew chapter 23, verse 39. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth till ye shall say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of Yahuwah. So the Messiah, Yahuwshua HaMashiyach, is the one who comes in his Father's name. Read Matthew chapter 21, John chapter 12, and also Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. For this summary says, in Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. But first, let me read John. Let's see, make sure I got the right thing. Okay. In Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9, the summary is Yahuwah defendeth his church. Now, I'm going to let you know the church is the nation of Israel when you study the Old Testament and the New Testament. Because in the Old Testament, when you read Exodus chapter 12, Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 10 to 15, you will learn that the nation of Israel kingdom was made up of Hebrew Israelites and the Gentiles who came out with them and joined themselves in covenant with them. Okay, you have to read again Exodus chapter 12 and Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 10 through 11. I mean, verse 10 through 15. So what was done in the Old Testament is also done in the New Testament. You had Israelites and Gentile who entered into the covenant with Yahuwah. Therefore, you have Israelites and Gentile who enter into the new covenant that the Messiah established for us. So it's nothing new underneath the sun. But when you see the word church in the Old Testament, I'm letting you know it's dealing with the nation of Israel. Okay? Because we are the one who had the tabernacle of Yahuwah. Okay? Verse 9 of the summary. Zion is exhorted to rejoice for the coming of the Messiah and his peaceable kingdom. Yahuwah promised a victory and defense. Okay? So in verse 9, what it say? Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thou king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. Verse 10. And I will cut off the chariot for Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off, and he shall speak peace unto the heathen, and his dominion shall be from sea even to sea, and from the river even to the ends of the earth. Verse 11. As for thee also, by the blood of thy covenant, I have sent forth thy prisoners out of the pit wherein is no water. So the Messiah fulfilled his role of delivering the prisoners who was in Sheol, and he had brought them into paradise, which is in heaven. And now he shall fulfill his role of delivering us who are in the earthly realm and those who have passed on, for he shall resurrect their bodies. Okay? Now, these links dealing with the Barbie harvest, dealing with the body being right, I'm going to put the video link in the description box because that's what these pictures about that you see here that was on the New Moon site. So that link will be in the video description box for you to take a look about the body being right for this month. All right, now we're going to the year in totals. So you want to get your pencil and paper ready for this. Okay. So in the 12th month moon report, Israel did not see the moon at its correct appointed time. Okay. And what that moon did for the 12th month, the phases was thrown off. And because the dark moon phase for Israel of the 12th month started so late, that would cause the phases of the moon to be off, and why they didn't see the new moon crescent on the correct day. So this is why you see on my calendar, which is the correction, that the new moon should have shown on, make sure I got the right month, on February the 26th at sundown. Okay, but it did not. On this month, the I want to say the east and the west, yeah, that's correct. The east and the west sighted the moon on February the 27th at sundown. So again, it's still fulfilling prophecy because again, the heavens are crying out to us and letting us know that the Hebrew Israelites are not in the land. Now, I have a letter from Israel to let us know that they are aware that the West does see the new moon before them in some of these months. They are aware of it. Okay, we'll talk about that in this video. So that's my proof to you, let you know that they are aware that the heavens are doing strange things. Okay? Now, this is the Jewish people. They're aware of this, okay? And I'll talk about that further in the video. So this is why you see me having, for my 12th month of the new moon should have been on February 26th at sundown, okay? And again, it's based on the full moon. Because see, your full moon can only be on the 14th or 15th day. And then the full moon I'm talking about, it has to be 100% illuminated. So I look at the phase of this moon and when it's 100% illuminated, and I look at what day it falls on, okay? Now you have to watch the 12-month report to get all the specific details for this month, but I'm just going to get straight to the point. So the 12th month for me, the 12th month for us, we have a total of 30 days, okay? And I will give you the results for Israel as we go further down. So this is why it's so important to keep a record. When you go to timeanddate.com, you would get you would get an idea of the moon actual time, okay? Now, I'm aware that timeanddate.com go by the dark moon, so I had to use what was available because it's hard to get the exact time of the new moon crescent, okay? So that's what you see these numbers here. When you see moon actual time, I have like 29 days, so many hours, so many minutes, and if there are any seconds, I put that down. So I'm gonna go over these numbers that we see here as we go further down. Also, I'm gonna put in the video description box the link that earthsky.org talk about the new moon, because they was aware about the new moon, and they was even saying that even in North America, we have a better chance of seeing what they call the young moon. Okay, but we know it's the new moon on March 28th. So I'm going to put the link of their article in the video description box so you can read more about it. But here's why when you see a lot of people videos and picture of this new moon, why it's so difficult to see. One of the biggest things is that it's very close to the horizon. Okay. And because the moon illumination is about 1%, you have to be in a good spot to see this, okay? So on March 28th, you will see the new moon crescent very close to the horizon. So this is why you have to be in the area where it's flat and where there's no obstruction where you can see it, all right? And remember, and also in the video, you would see in Truth Table Ministries that they say, you'll see it in the red. You know how the sun is going down, you see that redness in the sky. Well, he was saying, you will see it in the red. That's what he's talking about. Okay. Now, as the moon increases in light on March 29th, you will see Mercury by it. Okay. And then on March 30th, you will see Mars by it. So this is a good site to go to look at. Okay. Now for the grand totals. So here's your pencil and paper. Write this down so you can understand how did I get 355 days. So when you keep a calendar record, you will begin to add these totals. Okay. So let me start down and work myself up. I'm gonna start with E. Okay. And I'm gonna blow this up so you can see what I see. Okay. Dealing with the first quarter of the moon, I got 88 days, but the actual time of the moon was 87 days, 23 hours, and 37 minutes. Now for the sun first quarter, which is spring, I got 93 days, and the actual time of the sun was 93 days, 11 hours, and 34 minutes. That's the first quarter. First quarter means the first 3 months. Now for the second quarter, for the moon, I got 88 days, but the actual time of the moon was 88 days, 13 hours, and 11 minutes. For the sun, which was summer time, I got 93 days, and the actual time of it was 92 days, 8 hours, and 38 minutes. So the grand total of the first and second quarter was 176 days for the moon, and the actual time of that was 176 days, 12 hours, and 48 minutes. For the sun, grand total of the first and second quarter, I got 186 days. And the actual time of it was 185 days, 20 hours, and 12 minutes. Now, I do want to explain why it's 186 and you see 185. Remember, we can't split a day. So when you look at your calendar record and you count these days, this is why you would get 186. But when you look at the actual time of the sun, and this also go for the moon, you will see why there's a slight difference. Actual time is different from calendar whole days. Okay? Now, dealing with the third quarter of the moon, I got 89 days, and actual time of it was 89 days, 6 hours, and 42 minutes. Dealing with the sun pertaining to fall, I got 90 days. 90 days, 5 hours, and 36 minutes. Okay? And the grand total of the first, second, and third quarter for the moon was 265 days. And the actual time of that moon was 265 days, 19 hours, and 30 minutes. For the sun grand total of the first, second, and third quarter, I got 276 days, 276, 1 hour, and 48 minutes. Now the fourth quarter, okay, for the moon, I got 89 days, and its actual time was 88 days, 20 hours, and 4 minutes. For the sun, dealing with winter time, I got a total of 89 days, and its actual time was 89 days, 2 hours, and 45 minutes. Okay? So when you add all these up, the grand total of the first, second, and third, and fourth quarter, for the moon, I got 354 days, and its actual time is 354 days, 15 hours, and 34 minutes. Okay? Now, for the sun, I got 365 days. Okay? But the actual time of the sun was 365 days, 4 hours, and 15 minutes. Now, I did go to timeanddate.com and got what they have for the sun. Okay? Now, I want to explain this. Reason why you see a slight difference, because the sites that I was using to get when the sun entered each Mazarah sign, I had to convert it. So I may be off by a couple minutes. Okay. But I still like to do this to compare to what time and date has. Okay. So time and date got 365 days, 5 hours, 58 minutes, and 36 seconds. Now, when you round the 5 hours, 58 minutes, and 36 seconds, you get 6 hours. This is why when you read the prophet Enoch's work, he said 365.25 days. That 0.25 represent a quarter of a day. A quarter of a day would be 6 hours. When you take 24 hours divided by 4, you get 6 hours. So when you look at 5 hours, 58 minutes, and 36 seconds, that's close to 6 hours. So that's what the prophet Enoch is talking about in the second book of Enoch. And for those who keep Enoch's calendar, you have to read second Enoch. If you only read first Enoch and you are observing the heavens, and you probably wonder why your numbers are different, that's why you have not read second Enoch. You got to read it. So when you take the moon days and subtract it from the sun days, you get 11 days different. And this is very important to know. All right. So the actual time difference between the sun and moon was 10 days, 14 hours, and 24 minutes, which the book of Jubilees talk about. Remember, it said that the moon would come in 10 days too soon. Okay. So that's what that means. Now for the 12-month fathers, my question to you. Knowing that there is 11-day difference between the sun and the moon each year, because the moon is behind the sun 11 days, you're going to find that your first month will start later and later and later, going backwards, going towards the winter season. So this is this math. This is something that's common sense. If the moon is behind the sun, it's not. I mean, when the moon is behind the sun 11 days each year, then you're going to find your holy days, your holy feast days, going to be out of season. This is this math. This is just something you can write down. You can see what's going to happen to the moon year. So for my 12-month followers, the evidence is there, but I know most of you would turn deaf ears and you would not listen. So I'm going to let the Messiah deal with you when he get all of us on one accord. I'm just a messenger. And when the Most High showed me this, he said, share it. Those who receive it, work with them. Those who don't, let them be. Okay? But I'm letting you know the evidence is there. The math is there. So when I'm sorry. What you see here, when I took the sun actual time, and I used time and date because it was more accurate than what I had, minus the moon, okay? I got 10 days, 14 hours and 24 minutes. So now we can see what the book of Jubilees was talking about. Now, for my people who follow the dark moon, which I don't know why, you would say the dark moon's the new moon, because we know our Father is about light. He is the elder light. He's not the elder darkness. I don't know why. For you, for what I got so far, you will have a total of 355 days for your moon year. Okay. And I went back because I know how people are with evidence. Your first day of the dark moon was on April the 7th. So your last day of the year would be on March the 27th, 2017. Okay. And what you see in parentheses is on April the 7th of 2016, your dark moon phase fell on April the 6th at sundown and ended on April the 7th at sundown. Therefore, your last day of your moon year from 2016 to 2017 fell on March the 26th at sundown and ended on March the 27th at sundown. So this is how you get 355 days. Okay. On how you would count your days, if you're trying to do it by hand, you would start from April the 7th to ending on March the 27th. And this is the formula for it. For the month of April the 7th, you will have a total of 24 days. From the month of May to February, you will have a total of 304 days. And then when you're in on March the 27th, you will have a total of 27 days. So when you add 24 to 304 to 27, you get 355 days. You can also do it with April the 6th. Okay, April the 6th to March 26th. Okay, that's when that's at the going down of the sun. Again, on April the 6th is 25 days, May to February is 304 days, and then on March the 26th is 26 days. So you add 25 to 304 to 26, and you still get 355 days. Now for Israel, their moon year will still be 354 days, and you'll see why as we go further down. But for my calendar, the full moon would be, let's see what I put here. Oh, that's a note for me. I'm sorry. What I'm basically saying to you, on your calendar, your full moon day can only be on the 14th or 15th day of each lunar month, and dependent on other factors. So this is why the calendar that you see above here that I was talking about earlier, I don't have to wait because this is too much to go back to, or what I show you for the 12th month. This is why that calendar is correct. Okay. Let's see. I lost my spot. Make sure where I'm at. Okay. So let us go further down because I want to go ahead and knock this part out before I go back to the calendar. I'm going to have to bring this down some. Here is a picture of my calendar records for last year dealing with Adar 2 of 2016 and Abib 1st of 2016. Okay. Take this time to pause your screen. So last year, you would notice that the moon came in on 11 days. When I'm talking about from 2015 to 2016, you would notice that the moon came in 11 days too soon. Because what you see in yellow is the day of the equinox. So the first day of the sun fell on Adar the 2nd on the 12th day. Okay. So when you count it, you get a whole calendar days of 11 days of the moon coming in too soon. Remember, I told you have to look at the moon at your time. So when you look at the moon at your time, you get like 10 days, point something. Okay. So it's still fulfilled Jubilees, chapter 6, I believe. All right. Now, when you look at the lunar epoch, because that's what the prophet Enoch talked about. Okay. When I did the lunar epoch, and I need to bring this out some so you can really see where we're going at. Because those who observe the 13th month, we added 30 days to our calendar. That's how many days that was in the month of Adar. Okay. You can see here in this picture. And the reason why there was 30 days in the month of Adar, because the new moon crescent was visible in the west on April the 8th at sundown. Okay. Now that 30 day that we added to our calendar is a total of 30 surplus days. All right. Now, for the year of 2015 to 2016, the moon 12 months was a total of 354 days, and the sun year was 365 days. I'm talking about whole calendar days. So again, I took the difference for the year of 2015 to 2016. I got a difference of 11 days. This is why it's so important. Now, lunar epoch is looking at when the moon start after the sun new year. When would the moon new year start? That's what lunar epoch is looking at. So because I have a surplus of 30 days, I have to subtract 11 days from Adar the 2nd, 2016, 30 days. Okay? Because I'm adding extra days. When I subtract 11 from it, I get 19 days to count after the equinox to get an idea when will the new moon start. Okay? But you also need to keep 19 as a record for the next year. Okay? Because again, we got 19 days left that we of the 30 days as a surplus. Okay? So the lunar epoch for the calendar year of 2016 to 2017 would be 19 days. I would have to count 19 days after the equinox to get what day the moon started. So when I counted from here, 19 days, it fell on April the 8th at sundown when you would see the new moon. That's what that means. Okay? Now, which I got here in blue, it said from March the 20th to April 8th would give you 19 days difference. This is why Abib the 1st of 2016 AD fell on April the 8th at sundown. So I would do the same thing for this year. From Abib to Adar 1st, from 2016 to 2017, I would take the difference between the moon year and the sun year. So this year, we're at the end of this year, I got 354 days, calendar whole days for the moon. And for the sun, I got 365 days, calendar whole days for the sun. And when I subtract the two, I get 11 days difference. And because I knew I had 19 days surplus from last year, I had to subtract 11 days from 19, because what I'm saying is that the moon is short 11 days. Okay. So I subtracted from the 19 days surplus and I get 8 days surplus for the 13th month follower. So what that basically means is that my lunar epoch is 8 days. So when you go from March to 20th, that's dealing with the equinox, to March to 28th, you get an 8-day difference. You have to add 8 days to your equinox. Okay. And what happened was, as evident today, the new moon crescent fell on Abib the 1st, 2017 AD on March the 28th at sundown. Okay. And I will do the same for next year. I'm going to keep in mind that I have 8 days surplus to carry over for the next year. Okay. So for 2016 to 2017 lunar year, the moon is 22 days behind the solar new year. Okay. Which is evident in the 12th month for the 13th followers. But for the 12th month followers, that month is a bit for them. So we can go back to the calendar above, because you got to see this, what I'm talking about. Because we are a month behind the 12-month followers, because we added in an extra month in the year of 2015 to 2016. Okay. So for the 13th month followers, our 12th month fell in February to March. Okay. But for the 12-month followers, they claimed February to March was Abib. That's what they claimed. But this is what happened. When the sun entered the first constellation, it fell on the 22nd day of the moon. So this is how you know what is correct. Keep this in mind. From 2015 to 2016, the moon was already behind the sun 11 days. And because they didn't add in an extra month, that 11 days is still there. So as this year ended from 2016 to 2017, the moon is also behind another 11 days. 11 plus 11 is 22, which is evident. So you can see with the moon you can see in their calendar of Abib that their moon will be behind the sun year 22 days, because the sun entered the first sign of Mazzaroth, known as Aries, on the 22nd day of the moon. So that's the sun last day of its year, because on the 23rd day of the moon is the sun first day of its new year. So the moon came in 22 days too soon before the sun year start. I'm telling you, it's evidence in heaven. But let us keep going, because I got to show you the letter that the Jewish people wrote, because they are aware that the moon is not showing at her appointed time. They're aware of this. In other words, they're aware that the moon's doing some funny things. Now, I want to let you know, before we go to the letter, I went to my brothers and they rejected me. And some of them rejected me because I was a woman. And I was letting them know that the West is seeing the moon before the East, what is going on. And they ignored me, okay? Until one day, one of them came to me and said, the reason why we have not responded to you is because you are a woman. And yes, we are aware that the West is seeing the moon before Israel. End of story. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it makes no sense. And I think it's a shame that we have to go to the Gentile to get this information to understand what's going on, when my own people won't even investigate and find out why this is happening, and when they won't look at the scriptures. Okay, so those who come at me, shame on you, because I went to the brothers and I was rejected. In other words, they didn't listen to the information. They didn't do the research. They didn't check it out. So this is why videos are being done on the Most High calendar. And I will continue to do my Father will until he tell me otherwise. So this is a letter from Nehemiah Gordon. And the date of the letter was on Sunday, the April 10th, 2016 at 8:08 a.m. Okay. Now what this say at the top, he said, I just received this announcement sent by the Israeli New Moon Society, an Orthodox Jewish organization, that the moon was not seen on Friday from Israel due to weather conditions. Now I'm going to read further down what that means, okay? So take this time now to pause your screen so you can read this. So the new moon was not seen from Israel on Friday, and this was sent by the Israeli New Moon Society, okay? And then what they said was, hello all, the moon was not seen on Friday from Israel due to weather conditions. The moon was seen on Saturday and on Friday from the United States. Regards, and Kosher Pishat Gadai. Okay. Also further down, what they said, the Israeli New Moon Society, in the light of comments that we have been received, it should be noted that the Israeli New Moon Society is attempting to increase involvement with the embellished Torah from the point of view of rabbinical Orthodox Judaism. Nonetheless, the society respects and wishes to collaborate with any organization, group, or individual that is interested in the appearance of the new moon without any regard to his opinion, outlook, belief, or religion. However, such collaboration does not necessarily indicate any affinity to the beliefs, opinion, ideas, or aims that such an organization or individuals are pursuing. So what I think is so sad is that they are aware something's going on with this new moon. But my own people won't address it. But yet they get mad when the Most High raises up a woman to preach this to the people and let them know, hey, the heavens talking to us. They're letting us know that the Hebrew Israelites are not in the land. Because he said that your sons and daughters shall prophesy in the last days. So I'm going to put the link of Nehemiah Gordon Facebook page of this letter in the video description box. So, and I put this picture here to show you that they did keep Passover. They said, based on all the non-sightings in Israel, we would be observing the Feast of Unleavened Bread starting sunset on Saturday night, April 11th, 2016. Okay? So I'm just put that as evidence of what they kept Passover. Okay? So here's a list of the moon not showing at her appointed times for the ones who observe the 13th months. For the 12-month fathers, it'd be different for you, and you'll see what I mean. So on April the 20th was our first month. Israel observed the new moon crescent on April the 9th. And because they observe it on April the 9th, the total days for that calendar is 28 days. That's a big sign. 28 days. Now in America, we observe the new moon crescent on April 8th, which for our calendar, we have a total of 29 days. Now, and also the next on sighting when the moon did not show at her appointed time was October. I'm sorry, my tongue getting twisted. October 2016, which is the 7th month. Israel observed the moon on October the 2nd, but in America we observe it on October the 1st. However, we both end up with 30 days. Number 3, November 2016, which was the 8th month. Israel observed their moon on November the 1st, 2016. America observed their new moon crescent on October the 31st, 2016. However, for that month of the 8th month, Israel had 29 days and we have 30 days. Then on number 4, December 2016, which is the 10th month, Israel and America observed the moon on December the 30th, 2016. However, because they observed on this day, their full moon fell on the 13th day. So they have 30 days. So on this month of the 10th month, no new moon crescent was sighted on December the 29th, which is the correct day for the moon to show. And because I follow the correction, because the full moon has to fall on the 14th or 15th day. So when I followed the corrected date, and what I mean by that, when I'm saying to you that the new moon crescent should have been on December the 29th at sundown, because the full moon was on January the 12th at 1:33 p.m. Israel Standard Time. And because it was on this time, which would be from January 11th to January 12th, so for the 10th month, it would fall on the 14th day. So for our calendar record, we have 30 days. And also for Israel and America, they would have 30 days based on how that moon fell. So on January the 2017, which is 11th month, Israel saw the moon on January 29th, 2017. But for America, we saw it on January the 28th, 2017. But for that calendar, for the 11th month, we got both 29 days. For February 2017, which was the 12th month, Israel and America saw the moon on February the 27th, 2017. And their full moon day fell on their 13th day. Okay? For us, for the correct calendar, because the moon was not sighted, it should have been on February the 26th. Okay? So the full moon, for those who follow the correct calendar, for us, the full moon will fall on the 14th day. However, Israel and America will have 30 days, and those who follow the correct calendar will have 30 days. Okay? Now, the full moon for that month was on March the 12th at 4:53 p.m. Israel Standard Time. So that phase will fall on March the 11th to March the 12th because it was before sundown. Okay? Also, the waning half moon was affected in the east, but not the west. For in the east, it fell on the 23rd day of the 12th month, when correcting the calendar, when the full moon can only be on the 14th or 15th day. However, the sun entered Aries on the 22nd day of the 12th month on the corrected calendar, which confirmed that the correction for the 12th month is correct. Okay, so what I'm saying here, because the moon did not show at its appointed time, and you're going by the moon phases based on Israel, it caused the waning half moon to fall on the 23rd day. So no matter what correction was made, one of your moon phases is going to be out of place. So for the 12th month, not only was the new moon crescent affected, the full moon and the waning half moon was affected. Okay. I also would put the link of 2nd Enoch, so you will have. But with 2nd Enoch, I highly recommend that you read it because it gives you the understanding of the moon being 354 days, of the sun being 365.25 days or 366 days, and the lunar epoch being 12 days. And how you get that? 366 minus 354. And that there is a sevenfold moon course in 19 years. So in 19 years, the moon will do this 7 times. And what you probably saying, well, what did that mean? Earthsky.org did an excellent example of giving you an understanding. And I'm going to read this to you word for word, quoted from the site, because it happened last year. And a lot of people may not have paid attention to it, but it happened. See, when you look at the total number of moons for each year, in 19 years, you should get what? 230. You should get 228. Okay. However, because there are extra moons in 19 years, which occurs 7 times, you have a total of 235 moons. And you'll see what I'm talking about as I read this article to you. On earthsky.org, May 2016 article, it says here, and I quote, rather, the May 21st full moon is the third of 4 full moons to fall within the same season. And the season they're talking about is spring. To astronomers, a season is the period of time in between a solstice and equinox, or vice versa. This full moon is the third of 4 full moons to take place in between March 2016 equinox and June 2016 solstice. In both instances, the blue moon is a calendar oddity caused by the 19-year metonic cycle. Okay, that's what the heathens call it. There are 235 full moons in 19 calendar years. Okay, what they're saying is, 19 calendar years. Yet only 228 calendar months or 76 3-month seasons. Therefore, it is inevitable that 7 out of 19 years will feature 2 full moons in one calendar. And it's also inevitable that 7 out of 19 years will have 4 full moons in one season. So those who keep a record and observe heaven, you will observe that you will have an extra moon. And sometimes this extra moon will appear in the same month if you those who have been paying attention. Okay, so from the year of 2016 to 2017, we have 4 full moons, and here they are: Adar the 2nd, 14th day; Abib the 14th; Ziv 15th, and the last one was Sivan 15th. Make sure I got it right. Yeah, Sivan 15th. So we have 4 full moons to occur within the spring season. So this is what this means, or what Enoch was trying to tell you. You have to read 1st and 2nd Enoch. 1st Enoch, chapter 74. The moon is always behind the sun. Okay? And what it's telling you in 1st Enoch, in the 3rd year of the moon, it's behind the sun 30 days. By the time you get to the 5th year, the total days that the moon is behind the sun is 50 days. Okay? So you look from the 3rd year to the 5th year of the moon, there's a difference of 20 days. By the time the moon gets to the 8th year, it's behind the sun 80 days. Okay? So we see that when you add 30 days from the 3rd year to 50 days of the 5th year, you get 80 days. So from the 1st to the 8th year of the moon, you have a total of 80 days that the moon is behind. Then this cycle is started all over again, my people. So the next thing you probably ask, well, what affect the days of the sun and the moon? For the sun originally was 364 days, and the moon was originally 360 days. One of the biblical events that affected time was Hezekiah, miracle, and looking at Ahaz sundown. Okay? So I'm going to put a video in the video description box to give you some understanding of why we're seeing this. Also to give you understanding how the heathens are able to schedule Easter close to the Most High Holy Day, which is a pagan day. Easter is a pagan day. So the title of the video is King James 1611 Almanac, Easter near / on Passover, the Messiah born in the 7th month. History. So that video will be in the description box. And the reason why I'm giving you that video because it has the other links to the other video. So look in that video description box for those other links to get a more understanding why the sun is no longer 364 and why the moon is no longer 360 days. So the course that we're in now, we're in a 19-year course of the moon. And it started from the year 2000 to 2019. Okay? So from the year of 2002 to 2003, we had a 13th month. Then from 2004 to 2005, we have a 13th month. And then from the year of 2007 to 2008, we had a 13th month. But do you see this pattern? 3, 5, 8. Okay? 3, 5, 8. 3 from 5 is what? 2. Add 2 to 3, you get 2005. 5 from 3 is 8. Add 3 to 2005, you get 2008. Do you see the pattern here? Same thing. From the year of 2010 to 2011, we had a 13th month. From the year of 2012 to 2013, we had a 13th month. And from the year of 2015 to 2016, we had a 13th month. Do you see this cycle here? It's doing 3, 5, 8. The difference between 2011 to 2013 is what? 2. The difference between 2013 to 2016 is 3. Okay? So this is how I know that we are in the 19-year course of the moon. From the year of 2000 to 2001 is the first year of the 19-year moon course. So now, So from the year of 2016 to 2017, that's the 17th year. Now we are in 2017 to 2018. That's the 18th year. And the 19th year will fall on 2018 to 2019. And yes, I did go back further to make sure that this is the 19th year cycle and when it began. So take this time now to pause your screen to get this information right here that you see. I want to blow it up so you'll have it. Take this time to write this down. Okay, so let's go back to the top so you can see about that 22 day. So my family, this concludes this video here. If this curse will act right. Here we go. Give it a second. While here we go. Ooh. Know how computers are. So when you look at your calendar record for your 12th month, now it's the 12th month for the 13th month observer. But for the 12th month observer, it'll be their first month. Remember, we are a month behind them. You will see that the moon is 22 days before the sun's new year. And that's evidence right here. Okay? So what I will do, there's going to be a link in the video description box so you can have access to what we just discussed. But give me at least a day or two come back to this video and check the video description box or check the comment section so you can look at so you can look at our calendar record. Okay, so you can compare your 12th month to what we have. So you can also compare your first month to what we have. But I highly recommend that you watch the 12-month moon report, because there you will find the reason why we have this correction with the 12th month. Okay? And I want to end with this because the Most High want me to bring this to your attention about the curse. And this is why I said that even though we are excited that the new year has come in, but this is a time of still mourning, because we are late to be delivered from this evil world. We can't even celebrate the Most High Holy Day as He commanded us because of our enemies, because some of us have to work. So those who have to work, remember the Most High know your situation. You just do the best you can to keep and honor His holy day. Okay? So I want you to read Hosea chapter 2 when you get a chance. But this is why all Hebrew Israelites are not following the correct calendar format. It's because of the curse, especially when you read Jubilees, the book of Jubilees. But the Most High said, I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. So mirth means joy. He will cause our joy to be taken away. So as we enter each of these holy days, this is not a joyous time for us. It's still a sad time for us. Okay? And when you get a chance, go to blueletter.bible.org and look at the Hebrew term for feast days, which is Chad, for new moons, which is Kodash, for Sabbaths, which is Sabbath, and for solemn feasts, which is Mohim. Take this time to study these Hebrew words, okay? Because there are only 3 solemn feasts, which is listed in Deuteronomy chapter 16 and also in 2 Chronicles chapter 8, verse 13. And the 3 solemn feasts are Passover, known as Feast of Unleavened Bread, Pentecost, also known as Feast of Weeks, and Feast of Tabernacles. And some of them called Feast of Tabernacle Sukkot. Okay? Those are the 3 solemn feasts. Take this time to go to blueletterbible.org to understand some of these Hebrew words. And also I'll point the scripture out because this may give you some understanding. Notice that the new moons is separate from the Sabbaths. He always lists the new moons separate from the Sabbaths, and it's for a reason. Read Ezekiel chapter 46, verse 1 through 8, and you will see why. But also read that whole chapter of Ezekiel 46. All right, my family. Remember this, family, for they have been falsely accused and their children have been taken away. Brother Ali Yasha. The videos on the channel and also on YouTube and on Facebook. Remember them and pray for them. For April is the month is when his wife shall be sentenced. All right, now I'm going to close out with a prayer. I plead the blood of Yahuwshua HaMashiyach upon this video and upon the links that are attached to this video. I pray that your people will understand that the heavens is manifesting themselves to us. Even the earth is manifesting themselves to us. For the true Hebrew Israelites are not in the Holy Land. I pray that your people will receive understanding of your holy calendar, Father. I pray that you will give them understanding how to read the heavens. I pray that you give them understanding of Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And Father, for anything that I have not prayed for, I ask that you fulfill it according to your will. We also pray for brother, forgive me if I mispronounce your name, but I think it's Al-Layasha family. We pray for them, for they are going through. But strengthen that family. Let them stand strong for you. And we pray that you bring them back together as a family, Father. And we pray for justice for them. And whatever our enemies have planned against us, Father, let it fall upon their heads and let them fall in their own pits that they have dug for us. In the name of Yahuwshua HaMashiyach, so be it. All right, my family, continue to preach the gospel that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Make sure the people are baptized in the name of Yahuwshua HaMashiyach. And make sure they receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10. For we know this is the season for the Messiah to return. This is the season, for we are in the 7th day of Adam. Read 2nd Ezra chapter 7. For the Most High has shown me so far, or what I have so far, that we're in the 7,485th year. Beta Israel say it's the 7,088 year. And the Jewish people say it's the 5,777 year. And the reason why they gear is low because they don't believe in the Messiah. But looking at all those three numbers, we do know for a fact that we are in the 7th day from Adam, which falls in the 12,000 year of creation. We know that the time is near. We know that Esau's kingdom is coming to the end based on the signs in the heaven and in the earth. And we know we shall be delivered. So keep your faith and hope alive and strong, my people. And remember, the Messiah is coming. I love you all, and Shalom.